and il me manque one thing. Maybe here, that's possible. Parce que c'est un peu light. C'est un peu light. Much better. Et puis, ça, j'ai pas le problème. Sorry, I'm almost ready. Almost. Just going to make myself a little tiny enhancement and I will get started. Voila. That's already much better. Yeah. And here. Okay. Here we are. Now we have something good. Not the other way around. Okay. That works. Nice. Just got started. Voila. And now I can even see something. How cool. Let me just see if I can improve a tiny bit. Because I noticed that it has a half shadow under the eye. That's good. On that side, not really. Okay, good. Here we are. Nice. Mega Mom. Oh, that's cool. Mega Mom. Okay. Okay, so that's good. And that we don't need because I'm not playing. How can I actually stop having it show every single time? I don't know how to stop it to show. I have to actually delete it by hand every single time. Anyway, oh gosh. Yeah, that's quite good. Okay, here we start. Let me share it. No, first of all, that I can pin. What? Oh. That's the first thing. Taking care of the baby. Okay, next. Share status. The other thing is share what? Et puis another one. So, oh, Roger is here. Hi, Roger. Welcome. I just noticed that when you maintain your finger on the screen, it actually shows all the people on TikTok. You can just like send to share. Okay, so that I can do. Doc, good day to Gemma. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, dokie. So I did that. Okay, a butterfly that we can also do. A butterfly. Oh, je sais que I believe it does some nice sounds. I have to actually put on the headset so that you don't get the tack 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 sounds when I double tap my screen. Okay, almost there. Done. Okay, great. So that works. And okay, so just send a bunch of like so that we can attract more people. Perfect. That always works because that's one of the metrics to know if a live is working is attracting and keeping people. Attracting is one thing, keeping people is another thing. Oftentimes not the same. In about 5 minutes. Yeah, now it's still a little bit early. In about 5 minutes, I will step out to finish to prepare the tea. Oh, look at that. 333, 333. Like, and I didn't do that on purpose. Cool. Okay, let's get started today. So, Roger, you were asking me yesterday, how do you come up with so many topics and how do you do that? I just closed my eyes, with my phone in my hands, ready to go live. Okay, what are we going to talk about today? And today, the answer was Manifesting 101. What are those simple steps that make manifesting inevitable? Right? And right now, I got my other sister who has her birthday today, and she's also in Switzerland. And I just sang to her happy birthday and then gave her my wishes on a vocal message. That's always better, you know. It feels more real. And it was like, that was cool. Okay. That's cozier. I like it. And she expressed a desire to come see me in Arizona, but expressed that way things are way too expensive, and she wishes, she hopes, but everything is so expensive to actually take her plane and make the trip to hug me in person. So let's address that, because it's not the first time that I hear like, oh, I wish, but I won't. I hope one day, but I won't. But there are too many things that actually stops you from doing it. Well, isn't that a limiting belief? Isn't that accepting circumstances as defining your fate? I don't only think, I am certain we can do it differently. And I am absolutely certain she or anybody else can come up with $2,000 for a ticket, a two-way ticket, or $1,500. 10 years ago, it was 1,500. Let's assume 2,000 already, or $10,000 if she actually wants to fly like royalty. So, how to actually manifest $2,000 or $10,000 for something that is really dear to your heart, like building a bond with your sister, your brother, or someone you truly love. The first thing you want to do when that is something that is so dear to your heart is to accept that not only as a possibility, but as an inevitability. So that means that from now on, instead of wishing for learning a new language, go visit this or that country, go connect with this or that person, you're going to make plans to make it happen. Always think we got time, but take care of family. Right? Right? Exactly. Roger. Exactly. So, how can you open your mind to the possibility of making the trip to see your sister, your brother, your long lost friend in person? Because a real physical hug will feel you and feel that other person a lot more than a video call. A video call is already cool. It strengthens the bond. It strengthens the relationship. And you can see each other move, react, think, talk, speak, all of that. But when you can actually be in the energy of the other person and feel the energy in your close space, that's another level of connection. So how can she manifest that? And funny enough, I have zero intention to make the trip to Switzerland at all. I will let them come if they so choose. I have too many bad memories and I have too many people I knew over there in my previous life, and I don't want to be confronted to all of that, especially with 15 years of domestic violence from 2 different families. It's like, no, I won't. No. Mm-mm. So this is why I'm not even planning on doing that now. If I'm putting myself in her shoes, it actually, there is a way. So the first thing is to acknowledge there is a way. What is the way? $2,000 ticket, maybe $1,000 or $2,000 rental car for a week. And they maybe, I don't know, $1,000 or $2,000 room, because there is no room here to have her sleep. We do not have a guest room. We do not have like the accommodation for that. Let me see if he's going to behave. My cat calling in. Can I enter? Okay, if you behave, you're fine. If you don't, you get out. Right. So, acknowledging the possibility, acknowledging it is safe, right, and good. It is for the highest good of all concerned. Then choosing when, because I can tell you something, here in Arizona, we have summer or monsoon. These are the 2 seasons we have here. An actual winter, though during the night it can get very, very cold from November to February. Cold, freezing cold, to the point of freeze. But only during the night, never during the day. So, first of all, is to choose when she wants to come. And I would not recommend summertime because she is completely not used to the kind of heat we have over here. So then it would be choosing, how about around Christmas? That would be my birthday. Why not? How about just in January, when the entire peak season of Christmas and New Year's have passed? And now it becomes January, like, I don't know, January 15th to 21st. Something like that. That sounds good. And that sounds like, okay, we have enough time to prepare, you know? And then once you actually decide that, it's like, okay, what do I actually need to get that going? And how about she gets a credit card for that? How about she receives a sudden refund from an insurance or something? How about she gets a bonus in her job? How about she opens herself up to the possibility and starts to sell and promote on her own $6,000 or $10,000 package of life coaching? That would work. These things are possibilities. I'm just like throwing out like possibilities. Sure, everything is so expensive, but only if you accept them to be so expensive, only if you accept to live above your means, or if you accept to have so few means that everything feels expensive. The law of relativity, which is a 9th law, you will see that in my book. The law of relativity states that things just are until you compare them to other things. So in relation to other things, whatever you are looking at is big or small, tall or small, or big or gigantic or pretty or ugly, or whatever definition, whatever judgment you want to give it. This is why judging each other doesn't make sense, because we can only judge compared to what we expect. So she's clearly expecting to have more, but at the same time, she's not manifesting to have more so that she can actually take a plane ticket, a rental car, a room for a week, and go visit sister. If she would want to, she could. Really, if that is her plan, if she decides to make it happen, if she so chooses, it's possible. Many other people have done that before her. And how about she receives $10,000 and decides to say, okay, $2,000 a ticket, two, okay, we have 6,000 and we even have $4,000 on location so that I can even like go here and there and explore things and have fun. How about that? Or maybe stay 2 weeks. It's possible. Accepting the possibility, starting to dream it, starting to feel it, imagining the joy of hugging her sister, her brother, her long lost friend. By doing that, she will open up her mind to possibilities. She will start to notice options and possibilities. Thank you for sharing the live. Appreciate that. That will actually invite you to consider, wow, what if it has already happened? When am I going to do that? And I really don't recommend to come during summertime. And summertime is long. It starts in end of April. Basically from May to October, it's above 100 degrees every day, to make it simple. And it's close to 40 or well above 40 if we talk in Celsius. So it's like, no. You don't want to do that. Not when you're not prepared. I can tell you one thing. When I just came to visit Arizona, and it was in September, so we were still in the hot weather. It was 106. I felt like I was dying. I felt like suffocating for air when I just came to visit one time. And this is why in 2017 we did not pull the plug to actually make the move, even though it was cheap enough to be attractive, you know. But I really said, no can do. So I decided that no, I could not do that. I did not trust my ability to adjust, adapt, and get well, and even appreciate that warm heat that we have here. Right now, I love it. It's like, give me some heat, especially when you just get out of a freezing building. Freezing in that case means 68 to 70 degrees. It's like, how can you make that cold? It's not even allowed. That's my feeling of it. And I remember that when I was living in Switzerland, yeah, it was just normal to have 68, 70. Just take a little jacket and you're good. No, I cannot do that today. It really feels cold. So I did actually adjust to such a heat, and I cannot take the cold anymore. Ooh. And of course, like everything, if I must, yeah, my body will adjust. Right? So imagining it's possible, dreaming it real, priming her brain to notice ways to make it happen, exploring what motel or inn she could go, observing and asking how much would it cost 1 week, maybe 2 weeks, and dream big. Why not 3 weeks? And then also prepare for her job. Is she still going to get paid during that time? The same amount? Something else? Can she actually use some of her next salary for her trip? Does she have access to her money while abroad? Does she need to pay off a credit card in order to come with some wiggle room? I don't know. These are real questions to consider. But as long as she does not ask herself those questions, but just state, I wish, I hope I could actually see you in person. But you know, everything is so expensive. That's not the reason. That's not the reason. It is as it is. You adjust to what it is. Maybe someone will be willing to give her $10,000 for her trip. Or 15 if it costs more. Maybe she can make an arrangement and pay it off over 2, 3, 5, 10 years. If she doesn't want to actually give herself the opportunity to simply pay cash and done without having to owe anybody anything. But that's a choice. When you manifest, you choose. I have to actually, yeah, I saw it coming. I think it's okay though. Oh gosh. There is my cat who started to push the box of my violin, which is above the box of the keyboard. Push, and then it was like, oh, and I saw it coming. I was there. Okay, I'm going to get to it, but it fell before. But where it fell, it's super short, so it should be okay. Yeah, it is okay. Yeah, he's fine. Okay. Anthony's back. Hello, Anthony. So that choice is yours to choose to manifest. Good day to you, Gemma. Good day to you, Anthony. Today, Anthony, we talk about how to manifestation 101, basically. I have my sister, my other sister, not the one you know, my other sister who lives also in Switzerland. And today is her birthday. I left her a voice message, and she replied by saying she wishes and she hopes she could one day come visit me in Arizona. But you know, everything is so expensive. Can guarantee you one thing. With that message, she won't make it happen. She has accepted that she doesn't have the means to come. She doesn't have the time, doesn't have the means, doesn't have the true desire. It's not a true desire, it's a wish. A wishy-washy wish. I would love to. And she just shows that like that. I would love to. That would be so cool. But she does not actually make plans and prepare herself for her manifestation. She's not manifesting it. And that is what I'm addressing today. What does it take to actually decide to make a trip, to actually go in person hug someone you love? Buenos días, mi amigo. Buenos días, Kevar. How are you? ¿Qué tal? And I believe that would be mi amiga, because I'm female. Or mis amigos, mes amis. Yeah, my friends. I don't know. But buenos días anyhow anyway. That's cool. And by the way, Kevar, in French, we also have all those like masculine or feminine pronouns, plural or singular pronouns, and grammar thing, like in estoy bien. Okay, good. That's good to know. So you're doing good. Awesome. So making a decision to manifest and to accept a new option, a new thing. Deciding when. I can tell you one story I did, and I did that in real. So I did actually, I'm preaching from experience. I'm taking you back in 2001. That's a while ago, but that's okay. I was in between my two abusive relationships. Did not find the second one yet. I did leave the first one for about a year. And I met another violinist who was about my age, but who was like a top virtuoso. That was quite amazing. And he was leaving for Paris. And Paris, over there, from Switzerland, Paris, it's like 3 hours by train away. So it's still a trip. It's still something you plan, but it's not the other side of the earth. Why would that be? That doesn't have to be filtered. Odd. And actually, I had my friend on the phone, and he was asking me, when are you coming to visit me in Paris? And I was there, everything is so expensive, I don't have time. I mean, I do have time, but I don't have the means to actually come. And he said, come on, make a plan. When are you coming to visit me in Paris? And then I felt the strong desire to play music together in person. In 2001, it was not a time when we could simply do that through internet. That was not ready for that. It was still quite early. And I answered, in 40 days. In 40 days, I am in Paris. What did I say? In 40 days, I'm in Paris. Oh my gosh. And I made a promise to him, and him, I valued him so much. In 40 days, I am in Paris. 40 days later was November 21st, 2001. I remember, I can tell you that. And I was so scared, but so excited at the same time. And what happened is that I actually took you manifested, oh yes, I did. I guarantee I did. I went to Paris. I had no income, no money, no place. I had a 3-year-old baby. I made it. What's your question, Kevar? Him and not them, meaning Kevar. Okay, while you write, I continue to tell the story. So what happened is that I actually went, what is your face structure? That's an interesting question. Interesting question. I'm going to come back with your question after I tell the story. Interesting question to ask. What is your face structure? Wow. I went to the train station and I told them, okay, I want a ticket. I want a two-way ticket to Paris the weekend of November 21st. Sure. 128 Swiss francs. It's almost like that. It's almost like dollar. So when you do not have cash, do not have money, but I had a card that was allowed to go up to $1,000 under zero. So I had zero, but technically I had another 1,000, but I never wanted to use it. And I just said, okay, let me see if it goes through. $128 later, I got my ticket, and I am at minus 128, and I'm here. I will never be able to tell that. Oh gosh, I did something. Oh lolo. Like super anxious, excited, anxious simultaneously. And I'm here, okay, I need a job, I need something. And then I thought to myself, okay, on location for the weekend, I will need $300. I'm just speaking in dollar for ease, but then it would be Swiss francs, but that doesn't matter for the story. I will need about $300. Okay. On top of the 128, I have to actually repay my card. And I'm not sure that my card is actually going to allow me to go under zero in another country. Because Switzerland and France, even though it's side by side, it's a different country, different structure, different everything, even though it's like 3 hours by train away. Not the same as in the United States. And I start to manifest. And the way I started, so you just went off face and everything worked out. Basically, yes. But more than that, I went off face, but I went into inspired action, into manifestation, visualization, inspired action. My imagination was very clear. I'm arriving at Paris Charles de Gaulle. This is the train station where you arrive from Switzerland with a super high-speed train. With my violin on my back, with God is wanting me to start moving in faith like that with inspired action. Just do it and believe. Believe. So listen to that. I imagined every single evening just before falling asleep. That's the best moment to do that. Okay, I'm arriving in Paris. I have my violin on my back. I have $300 in my pocket, cash in French franc, because I believe that there was no euro yet. Euro came later. So your message are always divine timing for me. Oh, that's amazing. So what happened is that I imagined the right amount of money in my pocket, my violin on my back, seeing my friend coming to me, hugging him, telling him, see, I made it. I promised. I came in person. I'm here for the weekend. Let's have fun. Wow. And I played that short movie in my mind over and 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 over. So now I have 40 days to make it happen. Woo! I don't have a job. I don't have money. I am living at my parents' with my baby, having fled domestic violence once. I love to play music, and I'm so happy to reconnect with music because music is my core. And I did actually abandon music for the last 5 years during my first abusive relationship. So I'm healing and recovering from traumatic events. I'm not talking about those traumatic events right now, but I'm healing and recovering. And I'm daring the impossible. Go to Paris when I don't have the means to do so. So then I picked some newspaper, because in Switzerland, when you look for a job, at that time, you open the newspaper, you look at all the little ads. We are looking for that kind of skill, that skill, that skill, that skill. You take all the phone numbers you call. That's what I did. And I got myself 5 different jobs during those 40 days, 30 days, I should say. 5 different jobs. I went and I helped a few days as a waitress to serve bread with all the costume and everything. I did clean the laundry of a hotel. I did put together the cardboard box to make beautiful presentation for shampoos and other personal care products that you can see in grocery stores. I did those are the 3 big I remember. I know I did 2 more. I don't remember right now what. So 5 of those jobs, you did everything I could. The only thing I wanted was give me $300 in my pocket that I can use over there. Plus, of course, something to sustain myself during those 40 days until I can actually get there. So it was like, whoa. And I applied also to the kind of job I truly wanted, which was office job. I'm amazing at computer and at organizing. So secretary, that would be amazing for me. Executive assistant, that would have been perfect. Things like that. So these were my dream job. I still did anything else available to me where they would hire me for a few days. Oh, one of the fourth I did, I remember now. In a factory, it was about putting small personal care product into a small, that kind of things. I don't know how to call that. Maybe pouch. You just put all those products in the pouch, close it, next. Take all the product, put in the pouch, next. So that once your life starts to feel like a movie, that's how you know you are walking by faith and manifesting. You got it, Anthony, exactly. So that was the 4th job. And there is a 5th one. If it comes back to me, I will tell you what it was. So I did everything. And I collected $300 in my pocket, 300 of my currency, ready to go. All while, because in 40 days, I still have my monthly expenses, all while paying for rent, paying for daycare for my baby. He was 3 years old. He needed to have daycare. There was no way to leave him alone. And so both were about, I don't know, $800. So I was actually able to collect money by helping a few days here, a few days there, doing anything I could, all while applying to the job of my dream. Listen what happened. Because now it becomes serious manifestation. I got the money I needed. And from there, 30 days in, now I know I have the money. Now I know I'm good. So I have had enough to actually sustain myself during that time. Now I'm zeroing in on my dream job, that executive assistant type of things, or secretary or office assistant, something along those lines, something like that, because that is where I thrive. This is so inspiring. Thank you. I get an opportunity, but I have a super, super bad feeling about the person. I'm pulling through with it. It's a lawyer, so it would be like lawyer assistant. To me, it was like, whoa, paralegal or something like that. Fabulous, but at the same time, I have a icky, negative feeling about that lawyer. Because that lawyer doesn't want to pay me more than the strict minimum wage, claiming that everybody does that, and offering that he would pay anything more under the table, so not legally. And also telling me that I know at what time I start, I don't know at what time I end, and that if I have something, I have to actually ask him time off in order to actually live my life. It was like, wow. So first of all, that was not good circumstances to work. And then I felt a strong power play between him and I. And I felt that he would be the next to actually rape me. I felt it so strong because I was already very much aware of all the trauma that I could go through. I felt that. I was there, oh my gosh. I went one day. I actually provided amazing value. And when I returned home and I saw her actually behave on a regular day, I left him a message telling him, hey, I won't return. I'm not doing that. You pay me whatever you owe me for one day. And believe it or not, he did not pay me for one day. Logical. He was a crook. And I went on to keep on manifesting my dream job, even though that sounded like amazing in a way for the title and the imagination I had of it. The next thing that happens is that I decide to send 100 spontaneous job offer. I'm going to open the door for the cat. I sent 100 job offer where I could actually address all the local stores. Okay, I can help you with this, and that. Your spidey senses went off. The universe will tell you, will let you know when something doesn't feel like. That is amazing how you follow your intuition. Thank you. So what I did after that, I did not take time to actually process. I just said, you know what? No, I won't go there. I won't put myself in such an awful place. No, even though it sounds amazing. And pay is not even good, so it's not even worth it. But I mean, feeling raped? Later it happened still in life, but not that and not that person and not that case. No, I was not available for that. And listen to my words, I was not available for that. I said no to a seemingly dream job with a seemingly great title because it felt off, it felt wrong, it felt awful, it felt And I was still on my destination, and I was still going on November 21st. All of that was November 10, you know. And this time I sent 100 letters with a short CV. I mean, in 2001, I'm what, 23 years old, 24 years old. Thank you, Kevar. I'm really sorry to what happened to you, but it's amazing how you still have the hope. Thank you. Okay. So when I sent out 100 letters, I was expecting 2, maybe 3 positive answers. I got 2 interviews. One of them was at a hearing aid store close to home. I went there, had a talk with the boss, met the people around, and yeah, sounded good. He wanted to put me in accounting. I was not good at accounting, but that was an office job and I could learn. And when I told him what I just did and what I'm actually accomplishing by going on November 21st to Paris, he told me, whoa, and you did all those different jobs for that? Wow, thank you for the heart. And when I did that, I said, yeah, this is what I'm doing. Okay, then you are hired. And what? Then you are hired. But I don't know accounting. And he just thank you for the awesome. You lit up the rose in my gift gallery. Thank you, Kevar. Beautiful. So what happened next is that he asked me to see him at the big fair. And that big, oh, look at that, that crown, thank you. Appreciate that. And I actually went to meet him at the fair, and he told me, learn everything you can about hearing aids and what we do and what's going on here. So I started to just collect all the prospectus and read everything, discovered that world I had no idea about. And he told me, you're hired, and I was there, that's amazing. And I said, okay, so Monday I'm here. Yeah, Monday you're here. So I would actually work 1 first week for that new boss. And that means that, and now we are on November 15. So now we are just 1 week short of that November 21st. November 15, 2001, I get that you are hired for a undetermined length of time. That was also the big thing. All these other jobs, it was like for 3 days, 5 days, 1 day. It was just like for a short time. Got to get ready to do my hair, but I want to know your answer to the question. Thank you. And right now I have like one last part of that story, and then I answer your question. I go home, and you remember that I am a musician, and I have always been that since my youngest age. 5 years old, I started to play music. I go online. We have internet, but it's like super, super low. And I go on a global chat room. I have an aim. I want to actually meet a pianist, someone who can play the piano wonderfully so that we can play together, me with the violin, him with the piano. And I'm really set on that. I go online, I go in that specific music room, and I start to talk with someone. I can tell you one thing, in that kind of case, when you are a woman and you go on a big chat room, you get 50 plus, sometimes even 200 invitations from men to meet. Hi, hello, how are you? Hi, hello, how are you? Like it is flooding you. You don't know where to give your attention to. And on the other side, if you go as a man on that kind of chat room, you try to send a few messages and you wait for someone to answer and nobody answers. So it is highly, highly, highly unbalanced as an experience from a male or a female perspective. I learned that afterward. I figure, haha, yeah, right. I also saw the other way around when men gets like trapped with some weird, beautiful message from women like, do you want to meet me? And things. It's like, ooh. Be careful. And one of them, instead of just saying, hi, how are you? Hey, something, hello, like I cannot know who these are unless I enter in a conversation with them. So I cannot even choose which one I'm going to choose. I have no idea. Just see that little letters picture. It was not even a picture, just a letter. And I'm here, I don't know. And one of them comes with a enter sentence. not a high. Would a deep, frank, est-ce qu'une conversation franche, sincère, directe, frank, sincere, direct conversation interest you? Okay, that person got my attention. I answer, yes, sure. What are those frank, deep, sincere, direct conversation that you want to have? And the first question was, what do you do? Thank you for the gift. And I laughed out loud. What do you do? I mean, really? And I answered, with my new job that I just got that day. I am assistant accountant for that company in Geneva, Switzerland. He said, okay, very good. And I just got out of a 5 years abusive relationship. I'm done with relationships, but I'm open to meet a musician. He said, okay, very good. And then he told me, okay, I'm a professional jazz musician as well as professional Paralympic athlete. I'm blind. And I was there, blind. But you are actually writing to me on a chat, on a computer, and you suggest that you are blind? Thank you. And I did not believe him that he was blind, actually, because he was able to actually chat back and forth. And then he went, we love to replace, thank you. And then we went he went one step further. Here is my phone number, give me a call. And I called. Why not? And he was there, you called me? Yeah, why not? We were talking. I went with that candid, simple, trusting part of me. That one did not scare me. But I was really iffy about his blindness. I did not believe him. When I met him later that day, actually, and I saw with those white eyes, literally blind, I was there. Okay. And then I understood that he was an amazing pianist, so I put him in front of a piano. I heard he play. Oh my gosh, Divine Angel. Like, fabulous. And he showed me all the medals and everything. He actually, thank you. He actually showed me all the things that he was ready to, that he already won in terms of medals. Okay. And I was like, okay, so we have a the real deal. Basically what he told me was true. Anyway, long story short, November 21st, I go to Paris. I have a job forever, for as long as I can keep it. I have a boyfriend. I have $300 in my pocket, my violin on my back. I'm going to Paris. I meet my friend, the virtuoso violinist in Paris, hug him on that Paris Charles de Gaulle train station, exactly as I envisioned. And it all happened on time. So when I told you, my sisters say, yeah, I wish I come, I hope I come, but you know, everything is so expensive, I'm here. Yeah. If you would really want to, you could. That is so cool how all of this happened by you moving in faith and believing. So exactly. Now, answering your question, Kevar, you're still here? Yes, you're still here. What is my faith structure? I was born in the church evangelical apostolical, and I stayed there for 10 years. When I say in the church, that means that my home was the church. Really, I lived in that building. At the ground floor, there was a church, and we were living on the floors above. And my room was Sunday school for the children joining the church. I learned everything about the Bible, about Jesus Christ stories, parables, and everything that you could learn as a infant growing up, children growing up, beginning of like early teen. Because when I was 10 years old, my parents moved out of that place. and I lost my face, not my face, I lost my my anchor in the church. Did not feel good at all, I can tell you that. And then I actually tried to put myself in other groups, but nothing felt as good as my first connection. And then in the meantime, as between 10 and 23 years old, I went through hell and back already. I also completely separated from any kind of church. I also made a lot of room. I also experienced sexual abuse inside a church I visited. So I was also very, very untrustful. Like I could not trust anymore anything coming from the church. So I became extremely like, no. I love God, but church, stay away, because there are some really weird men in there, right? Sorry about that, but that's my experience. And I did not know what I was doing when I manifested. I followed my heart, my intuition. I made a decision. I made a plan. I accomplished that. I did not know the theory and explanation and rational structure that creates dream, that make dream happen, that creates miracles. I did not know these things. I just did it, and I did it right because it happened. And I noticed how many things aligned on my way, you know? So does that answer your question, Kevar, about my face structure? Somewhat. Can you precise your question? About somewhat. Are you asking what is my face structure now or at the time of the story? Because I'm quite a few years older than that. Now, okay, now I needed to hear this. Thank you for this story. I gained much wisdom and what it looks like to trust the divine. Okay. Thank you. Now, here is my face structure. I have a very deep understanding, hence I'm publishing a book during these weeks to come. I just finished to reread it yesterday. I'm going to order a proof copy to make sure it's like all good. And I'm teaching those 12 universal eternal laws. So miracles, there is a science to miracles. There is a science to manifestation. It is built in by the Creator on earth. And actually everywhere, because it is timeless, spaceless. It is not bound by what we have on earth, but it works on earth because we're here to experience, right? I believe that we keep on coming back as human beings until we actually deepen our relationship with the divine enough through our physical bodies that we can move on in the spiritual realm to help other humans on their journey. Basically, I believe that we're all here to help each other in and out of body. It all depends where we are at in our spiritual evolution. That's what I believe. And I'm not asking anybody else to believe what I believe. That's what I believe. And I believe in Jesus Christ because I met him. I believe in Santo Spirito. You call that Holy Ghost in English. I believe in the Holy Ghost because I felt its presence. I believe in my army of angels of love, light, peace, because they show themselves up for me every single day of my life. I believe in God, the Creator, as the super consciousness, the originator of life at any level way beyond Earth. I believe that there are many other places that have life. We have just no idea because it's way too far from our ability to comprehend, or maybe just another dimension. That's very likely as well. I believe that time is a human construct. Therefore, all times exist simultaneously. This is why when you heal in your heart, in your memory, something that happened when you were a child, it actually heals you now and you in the future. So all time collapse because everything happens at the same time. So there is that extensive, expensible things to actually make it all work. So that's my face structure now. I did not know any of that when I manifested my trip to Paris. That did work magically, wonderfully great. But that's amazing. So that is what I believe. That is my face structure now. And I won't join a church, though I have a church that is very non-denominational, so that it's not like one or one other. And I only go from time to time with my husband, and we just enjoy to pray together, because the power of prayer is something absolutely amazing. The intention prayer to hold each other in faith. And that I appreciate your story, really helpful. Thank you. So that's what I believe, that is what is true for me now. Does that answer? And thank you so much for your answers. I know you have to go, me too. So voila. Beautiful. Wow. So Roger, bye for now. Bye, Kevar. Thank you. So Roger, you see, I started with a message from my sister and I created an entire TikTok live again. And I will do that tomorrow again. That's cool. There is a pastor who just joined us. That's cool. Alrighty. Thank you so much for listening. Who gave 4.5 thousand like? I didn't know that. Oh, that's cool. Thank you. Fabulous. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate a lot. It's beautiful. I look forward to coming back tomorrow. Same time, same place. You. All right. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you, Anthony. My some kudos. And next time, Anthony, use your 2 fingers. It goes faster. Because when you do that way, it's like la, 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 okay. But when you do that way, it's like much faster, and then you can change hands and you can go the other way. That works. That's how I do it. So that was so good. Thank you. Again, I felt inspired. That's the most beautiful thing. It's exactly like you, Anthony. When you feel the thread of divine message going through you, and it works. Mwah. See you tomorrow. You're amazing.